Inline Warehouse gets Powerslide in trouble with Mattel. Confirmation of a sequel to the Aeon boot. Classic Dustin Latimer Shadow boot and the long-awaited Michael Witzeman Pro Sway alongside a whole lot of other skates are announced. Kia ora, good evening and welcome to Blading News. Our top story tonight, Mattel sends a threatening letter to Powerslide over their recent Powerslide Zoom skates, claiming that they are Barbie skates, right? That they're a knockoff of the Impala ones. I have no idea where they're getting that idea from. This was all revealed in a recent interview that iRollerboot did with Matthias, the CEO of Powerslide, who makes pretty much every skate that you can buy these days.
We're having a similar skate color version also, which got us a little letter from the Mattel lawyer.
And in this video, he talked about the fact that this post here by Inline Warehouse possibly caught the attention of Barbie, where it says Powerslide did not walk. No, they ran with the new Barbie reference movie with these skates here.
Mainly because Inline Warehouse posted some stuff for the boot with some Barbie dolls and stuff in relation, and Nick mentioned in one video saying, if you like Barbie and Ken, then you like this color. I explained them also that, the colors are a little bit different. We have different part colors. We have an aluminum frame in different colors. And we have used actually a neon pink colorway, for Swell before, for many other boots. So it's nothing that they have a patent on a colorway actually. But otherwise, it was all good.
The whole situation did get me curious, though, about why Powerslide wouldn't do an official licensed Barbie collab here. I asked Matthias about this, and he essentially told me that they've done official licensed stuff in the past for wheels and stuff, and it has never really been worth it. The companies that you license from, they want to do big number orders, which is something that rollerblading struggles to do these days, and they want to do kind of the worst quality products. He predicted it wouldn't be worth it. He didn't think that the Barbie movie's effects would bring enough sales to be worth the cost. But this wasn't the only thing talked about in this interview here that iRollerboot did. There was a lot of other cool little insights going on too. One of the most exciting ones to me was the fact that it was confirmed that they're working on an Aeon V2, with the whole idea of the skate being to fix the slow sole plate problem that everyone knows about the skate. If you've skated them before, usually they're pretty good out the box, but once you've worn them in a little bit, they start to really slow down. Doesn't matter how much you wax a surface, they slide slow, and they're probably the slowest sliding skate on the market.
Because of how the mold is constructed, and that is one piece, if we make it harder and faster, we're not getting the mold anymore out of the inside. So the inside mold, we cannot demold anymore. So we cannot really make it more harder. So right now we're in the process of making an Aeon 2 modification mold, which we then modify the complete mold to make it any material we want and faster as we want with any material. Just it will be a little bit different look and rework. Probably end of next year, I would say you will have an Aeon 2 then out in the market.
He didn't really give too much details as to how they're going to do this, but I would assume, just my opinion here, that they're probably going to be incorporating this frame sole, Kaiser frame sole they've been designing here, where it's kind of a one-piece sole frame that you put on the new Aeon. I hope if they do that they don't make it UFS, because I think the strongest part about the Aeon is the fact that it's not UFS. Gives it a bit of groove, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see about that one. There was a lot of other really cool stuff that he mentioned in this video here too. We got a lot of really good insights. It's really cool that Matthias does this stuff. He's an open book about the plans of Powerslide. He revealed that their marketing plans essentially is just to make cool new stuff. Instead of making the same things over and over again, they're always trying to innovate, which they really have been doing recently. Like we saw at Winter Clash this year with this sole frame, as well as the suspension frames, the everything changeable H-block frame. There's a lot of cool stuff in the works at Powerslide. Only one of those frames is out right now though. It came out today, I'm pretty sure, with me recording this. That is the AG60 frame by Justin Thursday. This is a cool flat 60 frame that doesn't have to be flat. If you notice here, it can actually be rocketed just on the middle wheels here. They can be rocketed up and down a few millimeters. So if you want a banana rock, you can have it. If you don't want it, you can have it flat. And you can actually change this little the piece on the queue here to any color you want. It comes in the box with 3 options. There's also a white version, and they look sweet. I've skated the Justin Thursday Prime Walls. It's a great frame. If you're looking for a new flat frame, I would highly recommend checking this one out. Now, as cool as it is that Matthias is so open about everything that's going on at the company, it sadly has led to quite a few leaks. They probably get some of the worst leaks in the industry. One of the most recent ones is the new Farmers Pro Sway. You may have seen this. It was put up by one of the shops. The sample was for sale, and if you saw it, you probably thought it was one of the most boring skates you've seen in a while. I asked Matthias about this skate to confirm if it was happening, and he told me that this is a very early version of it, and he even showed me what they're going for the final design. And it is going to be so much more interesting and much more memorable than the one you've seen here. So if you've seen this one, delete it from your memory, because the one that's actually they're going to try and make is so much cooler, and it features something I've never seen any company do yet. And I've never seen them do before. So it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. Moving away from the leaks though, they did just drop so many damn skates, so many official leaks. And going through them in order from the ones I'm least excited about to most excited about. We have these first up, which are supposed to be a USD Shadow team skate, which I think actually looks pretty good. And the reason I say it is because at first glance, I didn't realize these were shadows, which is a massive compliment from me. I like the black and red colorway. Matthias actually talked about in the interview that this was shown off a bit early and it might not be finalized yet. It does kind of seem like all the leftover shadow parts thrown together kind of skate. The Powerslide superstar Eugen has already been skating them and absolutely killing them, and he makes them look cool, dude. That little red highlight in the back of the heel looks nice. And while we're talking about Eugen, I can't not mention the fact that he has just launched subscriptions on his Instagram page where you can get access to tutorials and coaching, live streams and trick challenges, behind the scenes and the projects he's working on, and a whole lot of really cool stuff. I know a couple people have signed up for this and they say it's absolutely worth every cent. And as someone who works in blading, I can tell you that if this is something you're even slightly curious about and you like Eugen enough and you can afford it, I'd highly encourage you to go sign up for this, because there is not much money in rollerblading. Every second that people put into rollerblading, they are somewhat losing money. Fan funding is literally one of the only ways to go about being a professional rollerblader in this day and age. So I highly encourage you to go check it out if you can afford it and you like Eugen and you're interested in any of that stuff. Moving on to the next skate though, we have a new urban skate for Nicoly, which is really cool. Nicoly is a great urban skater and aggressive skater, and it's really cool to see Powerslide put out a new pro skate for another woman on their team. It is a brand new mold for an urban skate, which is cool and quite exciting, and it looks great. I love the colorway. And speaking of Powerslide supporting women, there was also talks of a possible Fabiola collab skate in the works at Powerslide. Next up, we have the Dustin Latimer OG Shadow skate coming back. It even has like a kind of knockoff Mook frame, which I know so many people have been missing. And more importantly, it has the old foot wraps, not this horrible knee-high boot thing. It's got the old foot wraps, which makes so much more sense in my head. This is a Shadow to me. I don't think those new liners should exist, but I don't skate Shadow, so don't listen to me. I can see this one selling very well, but also really overshadowing the other Shadow. It's kind of weird to show both of these off at the same time. And now the bets are on is to see if we're going to get a edit from Dustin from this. It'll be really cool to see one. We'll have to wait and see. Another one that we want to see an edit from though is Sam Croft. I'm sure he's working on it right now. Here's this next Pro Aeon. It's the Croft D4. It's this like bone cream white color that he spent a lot of time trying to get right. Apparently in person, they look even better. And most importantly, I'm super excited to see the part for this one because Crofty goes so hard, man. And then finally, my favorite from all the Powerslide drops, we have the Michael Witzeman Pro Skate official release. And this colorway that I'm sure is going to shock you, you weren't expecting it all, from one of the steeziest skaters in the game right now, Michael. So this skate is going to come boot only, obviously, because Michael Witzeman, he doesn't skate the Powerslide frames. He skates the Derry Darries. And it features a MyFit liner, which he decided to put in there due to the fact that, if you know Michael, he skates intuition liners. So he tried to get the most intuition feeling liner that Powerslide offers, and Eugen told him to go with the MyFit. This is what he ended up going here. He ended up tweaking it though, making the tongue not too high, because if you've seen the original, the tongue is way too high. He made this thing much better. Massive props to him. The other thing you should know about these skates is it has a riveted cuff, which I love riveted cuffs. I fucking hate losing cuff bolts. It's the worst thing ever, and I never missed not having a cuff bolt when I was skating Rosies. But I am also on the fence about this one because it is the only sway that doesn't have a removable cuff, which I can see being confusing to people. You know, maybe you buy this thing, you can customize it. I mean, nothing stopped me drilling it out, but it can be confusing. They should just make all sways like that, if you ask me. iRollerboot also got to interview Witzeman about this, and he asked him about why he riveted the cuff, and he said,
after thinking it through a bit more, I said riveted cuff because it's just, I wouldn't see a reason to change the cuff, especially because it has the logo on the back. This is like the only indicator that this is my skate.
Yeah.
You're not gonna take this off. I'm telling you.
You're not getting rid of it.
You cannot get rid of that.
Yeah.
People can still modify it if they want to,
Yeah.
but I think the majority of people that would skate this would skate it like this.
this is a really risky colorway that he said was inspired by a random shoe he saw somewhere, and I think he's done a great job. This was a really different out there, much more memorable design, and it's super cool to see. I was really expecting some kind of boring ass black and white skate, so massive props to Michael Witzeman for that. The skate actually does also apparently feature a new sole plate of some sort, which is definitely confusing because I know USD just made a new sole plate for the sways. iRollerboot asked Witzeman about this and he didn't even seem too sure. He was skating samples that didn't even have the riveted cuff, the ones he had, so I guess we have to wait and see for that one. And speaking of sole plates, Razer is on a mission to modernize and upgrade all their sole plates and all their skates. We already talked about this a while ago, but they did make a one-piece slider for the SR, which is a huge upgrade if you ask me. But now they've gone and done that to the Cult 2 with a new one-piece sole frame, which is arguably even better than the SR one. It features the kind of old school look and design of the original Cult, just improved to be one piece. They didn't take anything away. It looks absolutely perfect. It features this dampening cloth here in the middle, which is nice to stop the clack of the skate. And it also features this diamond print on it, which is meant to symbolize the fact that it has more premium, faster sliding plastic. And you'll notice this is also on the sliders here for the SRs, which to me is kind of weird. Why don't they just use the better plastic from here on? Are they really going to offer two different options? I guess we have to wait and see for that one. They did also loosely mention that if you might have to do some modifying to your boot, like drilling out some holes to put these on some of the old Colts. And I saw someone on Rollerblading say that the only time you have to do this is if you want to have the UFS bolts go into the boot, and you can get away with not doing it by the looks of it. It just doesn't quite line up, apparently. Ultimately, I think this is super cool for them to do because this is a really old boot mold at this point. It's cool to see them keeping it alive like this. But it really takes me back to the first time I saw Razors and I saw that you could change every single piece of it, and the sole plate had 4 different pieces. The cuff plate could be sold. I thought that was genius. I was like, dude, I could buy these skates and I'd never have to buy new skates again. Just have to buy a much cheaper part. But I think in reality they were over-engineered, because if you need to get a new backslide plate, you most likely will need to get a new sole plate as well. So having the extra pieces, I think, just kind of overcomplicated things. And seeing it go back to just being a simple one piece, I think is so smart, and it's been really cool to see. Believe it or not, we're not done talking about new skates. Kaltik has their new kids skate out where they've made some slight changes to the liner and the toe thickness to kind of give them a bit more life for kids. We've got this beautiful, crazy blue and green color here and a nice safe black, which is nice. They also did an exclusive collab with Trigger, which, man, I don't hate to be a hater, but this is probably the worst looking skate I've seen all year. I don't know why. It's almost like the frame's too big or something. The Trigger cuff, man, I've never noticed it before, but this cuff doesn't look like it's meant to be on that skate. I'm going to stop being a hater though, but essentially you can get Trigger skates with any of the Kaltik frames you want over on their website for a very good deal by the looks of it. Although, keep in mind, I don't know euros to New Zealand dollar conversion, so I'm probably wrong about that. Another leak we got was a K2 free skate called the K2 Grid 90. This is just a sample here that's for sale on this website. There's only one of one, which is crazy. I don't know why they're selling this, but I do really like the colorway of the skate. It's meant to compete with the FR as well as the Rollerblade Twister. It's like a all-around free skate, which looks very cool. I like the purple and the gray with the speckle. More exciting thing about it though is it features a new Intuition liner, which is shown off here as well. And it's cool to see. At first I thought this was a liner meant to compete with the Intuition, but it's made by Intuition, so clearly that's not the case. But it's cool to see there's a lot more kind of competition in the liner space at this point, because I have also heard that there is another big rollerblading company working on a Intuition competitor right now. It's going to come out soon too, which I can't wait to see. And then while we're waiting on the standard skates, 50/50 dropped a new Pro Prime frame for Chad Tannehill, which is, I think, inspired by Crazy Taxi, judging by the edit. It's got a black core, which is really cool. I think this makes this one stand out. The black and yellow really does look nice together. It's a great edit, by the way. The end was really cool. Lots of solid skating in it. And congrats to Chad for getting the Pro frame from 50/50. Really cool stuff. If you found this video useful and you liked it and you want to help me continue to make it, consider becoming a patron. It's the only way I can continue to make these videos regularly is if I get 100 patrons by the end of the year. And I'm only at 40 right now, so we have a long way to go. So every cent will really help. I put out exclusive news videos every week for patrons, as well as a few other exclusive benefits. If you have a few spare dollars, it would mean the absolute world if you help my dreams come true. And I'll try my absolute hardest to make it worth every cent you donate to me. But I also want to give a massive thank you to my Blade News correspondents. That's Travis, Palmer, Sonic Sports, and Matt, as well as the rest of my patrons and members. And where I'm going to leave you is with a really hard decision. Actually, it's not going to be that hard on what video you should watch. If you are closer to the age of 30, you should watch this edit right here. If you're closer to the age of 40, you should watch this one right here. They're both really good, but I think you'll relate more if you choose that way. And you should definitely watch both of these. But yeah, just choose one right now. I'll wait. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate you.